Hey there, BBT. Mark Adams here. I'm a lifetime member, and I'm going to do a trade recap for you today. This is a move I made on LYFT, and it's based on a simple ABCD pattern. Before I get into the actual trade, I just want to recite a classic quote from Warren Buffett. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. This is something he said, and I find it to be absolutely true. For those of you out there, you know that over trading is a dangerous, contagious thing. So just stick to your rules, stick to your strategy. So straight away, people are going to wonder, how did I come about finding this specific stock, pre-market even, which we call a stock and play at BBT. And first of all, the stock itself has to have some sort of fundamental catalyst or news that's going to move it away from, or not necessarily away from the direction of the market, but has to trade independent of the market itself. If we want it to be volatile and we want it to bring back returns that are greater than the market itself. So in this case, LYFT was gapping down, greater than 2%, and it had some fresh news. And I'm quoting this from CNBC, and it's saying, profitability expectations ding LYFT despite better than expected growth. The market has tightened expectations for ride-hailing companies, and this is something that's been somewhat ongoing. And another stock to probably look at would have been Uber. They tend to trade side by side, but in this case I was looking at LYFT. And secondly, it hit the BBT gappers list. What the BBT gappers list does is it narrows down a few thousand stocks down to sometimes 15, sometimes 3, sometimes 20, depending on the overall market. But it's all based on what we would like to see as day traders. So is it gapping up or down greater than 2%? Does it have high volume? Greater than 100,000 shares before 9 o'clock traded? Is the average daily volume something over 500,000 shares? Is the ATR greater than 50 cents? So does it trade in that range where it's going to really help us find returns at an intraday level? Okay, so I found my stock. Pre-market, it has gapped down greater than 2%. I have established a clean pre-market low, 50.90, and it's bounced off it. It looks like 1, 2, 3, roughly 4 times. It doesn't have to be perfect to the cent, but this is a clear level, and we'll chat about that shortly. So what I'm looking for is this stock is weak. I'm anticipating a sell-off, so I am already short biased, and we talk about it in BBT. You can't be biased, but if you are and your strategy plays through, it can be very profitable. So as long as you have a tight stop, then being short bias or long bias pre-market is okay in my opinion. So that's where I'm at right now. So at this point, I'm looking for some sort of pullback or a short squeeze somewhere near VWAP where I can get a good entry and get a good risk to return, which I'll chat about later as well. So I don't usually take any trades that aren't in my favor unless there is at least a 2-to-1 risk to reward. So you got to be patient for that too as well. So you gotta look at this and say, is my setup there? Wait for it. I'm waiting, and I say this time and time again, be patient, disciplined, going back to Warren Buffett. So my personal rule is to wait at least 2 to 3 minutes. Just evaluate the price action and see where it's going. and look to see if this setup is in your favor. Okay, so the market is open. Here we see the 1 minute candle. There's a sell-off. So this is the first confirmation of what we're anticipating. But I gotta be patient because I don't like to. I'm not a scalper. I'm not a momentum trader like Brian or Andrew, and I don't know how they do it. But this is personally how I play out my trades. I have to wait. So here we are, and it broke down strong. It broke through that 50-90 level, and I'm still gonna just wait it out, see if the buyers or sellers are in control. Right now, it looks like it's bearish. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, this is a big candle, but let's see what the next candle does. Okay, so here's the 2 minute candle, and this is where things are getting interesting because I mean, it's weak. This stock is weak. There's confirmation here. We have lower lows, lower highs, and I see a bit of a pullback starting. So I'm really getting excited for some sort of pullback. But at the same time, I see a level that I had identified previously, a significant level at 49.85, and it has bounced. It is bouncing off that. Okay, so into the 3 minute candle. Here I see, I'm still optimistic on my strategy because here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a wick on the 3 minute candle that identifies that buyers came in and they couldn't take control. So it's, and we see still on the wicks, lower highs, and the body closed below or closer to that level that we were looking at before, the 49.85. This is a very important level. If it can break that level, we are in business. Okay, now I have two 1 minute candles that both tried to take control on the buy side and couldn't. And that last one there on the fourth strongly rejected my 9 EMA. And that is a strong confirmation for me. That is a strong confirmation based on even Eamon's strategy that he talks about on his ABCD pattern. So this might be a classic ABCD pattern. That's what I'm thinking. So this is where I'm looking to go short. And as you see in this image, there's a red candle about to develop, and this is where I'm about to go short. Okay, now look at the spinning top on the 2 minute. Like, this is complete indecision. The buyers are now exhausted. This is a weak stock. I know this thing is going to turn around. We have all the moving averages moving in its favor. I am definitely short at this point. And this is it. The stock finally breaks through that level, 49.85, and once it goes through that, you know you're in good shape. I mean, even someone like Thor would say this was some sort of a descending wedge, combined with Eamon's ABCD pattern. And once it breaks down, at this point, you need to be looking for lower levels for profits. Okay, so based on all of that, I will go into how I actually took the trade. So I waited a couple minutes. I took my time. I wanted to look at the price action that was going to follow after a few minutes, and it looked weak. So I entered close to VWAP with a tight stop just above VWAP. I added after that 1 minute low. I took my first partial at that big level at 49.85 just in case we were going to see some sort of reversal. It didn't happen. So I took another partial at the new 1 minute low. This might have been a bit of a panic here, but that's okay. I'm not going to dwell on profits either way. And then I saw that further confirmation when it broke with volume, and then I just kept moving my stop. At this point, I kept moving my stop closer and closer to 9 EMA because it looked like that's what it was holding. I probably could have took this trade for a trend trade, which is more my style, going into the afternoon, but I just didn't see it going that way quite yet. So I was happy with my my RR in this case. So I just stopped out and took it, and that was my trade. Thanks, guys.